So today we're here with
Tyler Higgs.
Tyler. Who are your parents?
My parents are Tammy and Eric Higgs.
Did you have any brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I got a sister,
What's her name?
Rachel.
Rachel. Did sports play a key role in your family?
Sports definitely did. We were just kind of in my family. We were taught to, commit to something and start a season and you finish it. Work hard. Kind of the general ideas of sports, the general merits of it.
Where did you attend high school and what year did you graduate?
I went to Dieterich High School and I graduated in 2018.
What sports did you play in high school?
I only played basketball.
Tell me about your high school sports career from your freshman to senior year.
All right. Freshman year, I got the privilege of being on an undefeated team, at least for the regular season at Dieterich, which is like, it was history. Like it went down in history. So I was very happy to be on that team. Of course, I didn't. As a freshman, I didn't play, but I got to record some of the games, and I got to play with them in practice. Those guys like Devin Aharon, got Evan's brother, Alex Bonoff, and Travis Niemerg. We had Devin Aharon, and Nick and Lance, of course.
They're good people.
They are good people, and that was a great season. Undefeated, of course. It kind of ended funny because we lost before the regional championship. So the season ended very quickly. It was surprising to everybody. But it was really great to play with those guys, and I know some of the guys in my class got to play. Ryan and Callaway.
Who was your coach?
That was Coach Stacer.
Coach Stacer. Talk about him a little bit.
Yeah, he was a great coach. He was passionate for sure, of course he didn't coach me very much as a freshman, but he took the time to coach us definitely.
Talk about. I didn't mean to cut you off. I wanted to ask you this real quick. So you mentioned Callaway. Who's your best friend? Is he your best friend?
He is. Yes.
Why is he your best friend?
Why? I don't know. He's one of the people that he reaches out to others and seeks to kind of build friendships, and that I don't know. I guess I saw that as a good quality in him, and we've been friends since we were little. So I'm really glad to have him as a friend.
So explain to me, Tyler, who was your biggest rivalry in high school, and why were they the biggest rivalry for you guys?
So, of course, we had a lot of rivalries, friendly and otherwise. Honestly, St. Anthony was probably our biggest rivalry throughout my 4 years, in a big part because of, my junior year, St. Anthony won state. And so they painted a big target on their back. Everybody wanted to beat them. St. Anthony's real close to us. They've been, in terms of location as well as skill level, they're a pretty solid team. A good team to beat. There's a lot of friendships between Dieterich and St. Anthony kids. Some of the best people I know are from St. Anthony, and some of the worst people I know are from St. Anthony too. So it's a really good competition there, and it's a privilege to play with them.
So one of the biggest games I remember of covering you in high school was the game that you guys played St. Anthony at your gym, and you were down by, say, 6 points with about a minute to go, and St. Anthony missed a free throw. Callaway Campton came down and made a three to tie the game, and you guys ended up winning in overtime. The atmosphere in that gym was unbelievable. Talk about that game and what was going through your mindset.
Yeah, so again, St. Anthony had a big target on their back. They just won state the previous year. They'd only lost one player, so they're pretty much the same team because the rest of their players are solid. I know that I was in class with a lot of them through CEO, another awesome thing about that game is I only scored like 2 points, and it was one of my favorite games ever, and I would rather score 2 points and beat somebody like St. Anthony than score 20 and not. But no, it was an amazing, awesome time. I remember like whenever we came back and whenever we went into overtime, I remember having this feeling of confidence, like we were like you feel as a fan or as a player, the momentum, knowing that the momentum was kind of on our side, that we were on a swing upwards. And once we got into overtime, I was pretty confident that we could seal the deal, and we definitely did. Now, getting there was a lot of work, a lot of hard work in practice beforehand as well, preparing for that game.
The gym was literally shaking. Let's put it that way.
It was crazy.
Where were some of your favorite places to play in high school besides Dieterich High School?
Oh, Altamont for sure. They had the arena type setup. It was so echoey in there, so it was so loud you could like feel it in the ground. And of course, the NTC tournament was hosted there, so like I would just spend hours and hours in there watching the games on the Saturday of the championship and things like that. I really enjoyed that.
Tell me the story about, I had to ask you this, Tyler. You dunked it so hard in high school against Oblong at your gym that you broke the trophy case in the lobby. It shattered. Tell me about that story, and when did you find out about that?
So yeah, we have a basketball rim in our high school gym that's connected to a wall. And on the other side of that wall is a trophy case. And I dunked it one game, and it shook the wall, so that the glass inside of the trophy case shattered. And of course, I was playing a game, so I got pulled out of the game a couple of minutes later. Probably got a foul or something, and that's whenever I found out that it had broken. Like my teammates were like they're going crazy. I had no idea what happened, but they told me about it.
That's crazy. You dunked it so hard the trophy case broke. That's a massive dunk, Tyler. Any awards you received in high school?
As far as academic or basketball, do you think?
Just both. Anything you want to talk about with that? Mainly with the sports part.
Okay. I got to be on the NTC All Tournament team, and as a senior, I got to be the All Conference, All-Star game, whatever. I got to play in that with all of these rivals that I had. Of course, all of the seniors in the NTC got to play as teammates now against somebody else. So that was pretty fun. I enjoyed that.
Tyler, tell me how many dunks that you had during your regular season basketball at Dieterich.
So I only had 3 total dunks. Yeah.
3 dunks, and you're 6'3".
3 successful, dunks.
Yeah.
Had a couple more attempts.
Is there any other memories from high school that you'd like to share about?
I guess one cool story that I have is like that St. Anthony game that we were just talking about. It was 2 days before that I found out that I got an MIT, my dream school.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that here in just a second. That's pretty crazy.
But that was part of the emotion. I was very excited about that, and then we beat St. Anthony, and I was just ecstatic.
I think the town just blew up on that game.
I think they did.
So now we'll get into the college part. Tell everybody, a big part of the interview I wanted to hit on was this. Where do you attend college at currently?
I go to MIT.
So tell me about MIT, and what was the process of getting into that school?
So I might answer several of your questions here at a time, but it started like sophomore year. I was in a careers class, and my teacher told the whole class to kind of make a list of colleges they'd like to go to. And one of the things he told us was include a dream school, maybe a school that you could never get into, but just put it down there because maybe you will. And so I was looking at a bunch of rankings, which is always a good thing to do if you're applying to college. Rankings aren't everything, but you want to look at like rankings specific to the kind of thing you're going to want to do. For example, you don't want to apply to Harvard if you're going to be an engineer. They don't even have an engineering program. It'd be a terrible college to go to if you wanted to be an engineer. So, I was looking at these rankings, and I saw University of Illinois on there. And that's the school I kind of wanted to go to. They were like top 5 for the things that I wanted to do, like physics, computer science, math, engineering. They were like top 5 across the board. Excellent school, real close. But through this, on all of these lists that I was seeing, I also saw that MIT was the number 1. And I thought, like, why not apply to the number 1 school? That's whenever I got really interested in MIT. I met with alumni from MIT and got a bunch of knowledge about MIT, like about the school, and figured out that it was a place for me to go.
Wow.
And at the same time figured out that engineering/science as a broad category was what I was meant to do. Is kind of like I thought that that's why God put me on this earth. That's the way that I could help the most people. It was very clear to me that that's my purpose. I could help the most people through math and science. That's just how I've been gifted. I wasn't an excellent student at many things in high school. I wasn't an excellent English student, but I was an excellent math student, and that's just what I was meant to do. So that's whenever I first figured out that I wanted to go to MIT. And that's whenever the work began. I started studying for my SAT. My whole junior year, most of my junior year, I was exempt from PE because I was in basketball. So I'd study for my SAT. And coincidentally, that year was the first year they offered free SAT prep online through Khan Academy. So like, if I don't know if anybody's watching this that is trying to do well, on their SAT, go to khanacademy.com. But I would study for that every single day when I would normally be doing PE. My dad told me, like, okay, like you can do great on your SAT, but that's not going to be like enough. That's not going to set you apart from all of these students trying to get into this college, because everybody's going to have a good SAT score. Anybody can get a good SAT score, really. So one of the best things that I did to get in, I applied to a bunch of summer programs, summer science programs. The program that I went to actually was called the Summer Science Program, but they were all like that. A bunch of them. They're listed on MIT's website. They endorsed like a big list of these summer programs, and so I ended up before my junior year, or was it after? It was after my junior year, I think. It was. I went to, I got accepted into this program first. And it was a really prestigious, really awesome program. It was an astrophysics 6-week program in New Mexico. And so for 6 weeks out of that summer, I was in New Mexico doing astrophysics research, basically, and learning as well. We got to like use a university's telescope. We were studying near-Earth asteroids that could potentially collide into Earth someday. So I considered it important research. But it was a really cool program. It was one of the most challenging things I've ever done. It was a 6-week program where, like, that was the 6 weeks where I slept the least probably in my life. I was challenged academically more than I ever have. Like, I could not, the assignments that they gave us, the things that they had us do, I could not do on my own. I was surrounded by people. Everybody was smarter than me. I was the only person there that had never taken a calculus course, and calculus was a core part of the program. So I had to learn calculus and try to keep up with all of these geniuses around me. And in the end, I finished the program. I like reached out to my friends there, and that was the thing that set me apart. And that's if anybody wants to go to like a prestigious university, it's essential that you set yourself apart. And summer programs like that are a good thing to do. You could make a project or do something like that, depending on what your passions are. That's what I did that really set me apart. I learned how to code. I learned astrophysics. I learned a lot of math, and I got to contribute to real research. We got to submit data to like get published about an asteroid and its orbital path. It didn't hit Earth, or won't, probably won't hit Earth. And that's what I did to really set myself apart. And of course, after that, I also had to take a couple extra tests, kind of like the SAT, but they're more specific. They're subject tests, and I took those, and I got really good scores on those, and that was kind of what contributed to me, I guess, being special, like, kind of set apart. Of course, with that is sports is essential. Like, if you're in a sport, it not only shows, but it is like teaches you how to work hard and work on a team. And universities want you to be successful after you leave there, and so they can brag about you. And so, like, they love that whenever you're in a sport. They want people that are in sports because they can work hard and they can work on a team.
I wanted to hit on real quick. For those of you that don't know, it's Massachusetts Institute of Technology. That's what MIT is. That's what it all stands for, too. What percentage of people get in, Tyler?
6.7%.
That is so low. Wow. What does it mean to you to get in from being from this area?
It meant a lot. That was one of the things I wrote about in my application, actually, that the people here supported me a lot. People believed in me, and this is such a close-knit community. I've seen them come together for many reasons, many good causes, and it was a real privilege to grow up here.
What's your major?
Computer science.
Computer science. Why did you choose that major?
I wanted to be a physicist whenever I got there. I wanted to be a scientist, which was great, but I was a little impatient. I wanted to do something that I could apply to the world right now. And so computer science is great because you can write code and have it published to the App Store immediately. You can, you can build a self-driving car and put it into production, and it's out there for people to use.
So you decided to go there your sophomore, junior year in high school. Who has helped you along the way to get to where you are today?
Oh, lots of people. Mr. Hennish here was my junior high math teacher, and I would he would always give me like a challenge problem at the end of every math test, math homework, and like he'd actually challenge me, and I really enjoyed that. And then I got to high school, and my high school math teacher would challenge me, Mrs. Powell's, and she would she would talk with me about some like higher level math sometimes, and like just indulge my curiosity, I guess. She was my WISE team coach, so this is like an academic. It's not. They don't have WISE anymore. But it was like a math engineering competition. She would lead a group of us there every year, and that was pretty cool. And she would actually give us practice tests and get us prepared. And also Mrs. Craik was my guidance counselor at Dieterich. And whenever I got interested in physics, because that's what I was wanting to go to MIT for first. Dieterich didn't have a physics program, and she was the one that kind of reached out to different places and found an online physics class that I could take.
Really?
And
so what was the campus like? What's it like compared to going to your high school at Dieterich?
It's like a tight-knit community in the same way that Dieterich is, and so like I expected it to be way different, but whenever I go, it's really the same in a lot of ways, because I'll go up and I'll talk to someone, and they're just people. They're the exact same. It doesn't matter who. And there's some interesting people there that you would never know are anything special. There's people from different countries. I know some people from like Russia and China.
So that's how far they have to travel from to get there?
Yeah.
Russia and China? That's a long ways.
I know Croatia. I know There's one of my classmates is Miss Croatia, so like Miss Miss America,
Yeah.
like Miss Croatia, like she, and
Did she get a lot of crap for that?
well, I don't know her too well, but I think everybody knows her as that, and she's real tall
Oh my
and
goodness.
beautiful. But and then there's Jeff Bezos' son who goes to school with me, but you
Mhm.
would never know because he's just a guy.
If you weren't at MIT, what would you be doing?
Um, I would probably be at University of Illinois. It's a great school, real close to home. I'd be with my friends, my friends here, at least.
What was your family's reaction when you got into MIT?
Oh, they were so excited. We knew the day that the decision would come, and I was in basketball practice preparing for St. Anthony, um, and I stayed after to check my decision online because it was going to come out right after practice as well, and I was giving blood too. And while I was waiting, I checked the decision and called them, and they were so excited. They had my favorite meal, quesadillas, ready for me whenever I got home, and they were very excited, very supportive.
Talk about the hardest part of attending MIT right now.
So the hardest part right now, obviously, is the COVID. The
Yeah.
pandemic. It was extremely challenging. I was working like 14 hours a day, just on homework down here because it takes longer to do stuff from home whenever you don't have friends or help near within the nearest 100 miles.
Explain the challenge of high school to the college level.
So it goes right off of that very thing. Whenever I was in high school, I had friends who I'd known for 10 years or so. I'd known for a decade, and if I ever needed help on homework or if they needed help, we could interact and talk and get stuff done. In college, like if none of my friends are in a class, like which is very likely, I just have to meet new people and we'll get into groups, strangers, and we'll figure stuff out, figure out the homework.
Back in high school, are you from the high school basketball? Are you still in touch with some of your former teammates and players that you played with?
Oh, absolutely. We scrimmage against the current varsity team right now, once a week about, and it keeps us in shape, and we're helping those guys, and we're in touch. We're very close still.
Yeah.
We can, if we want to go out and eat with if I want to go out and eat with any of the guys on the team, all I need to do is ask.
At what age did you become interested in playing sports?
Well, I played baseball from when I was a little guy, but I really got excited about basketball, and people told me to play basketball because I was super tall when I was a kid.
You're 6'3", right?
About a 6'2".
6'2".
And everybody was excited because I was so tall, and they wanted me to play, so I played and I enjoyed it.
Since you played in high school, how has the game changed compared to when you played in high school?
Oh gosh. I haven't watched a ton of basketball. I know like during my time playing basketball, like my game changed. I know that as I said, I was super tall whenever I was like in junior high. I was taller than everybody else, and so I'd hold the ball right above my head. Nobody could reach it, and but I stayed that height, and people grew past me. So whenever I was like a junior or senior, I had to learn to maneuver and get some good footwork down against taller guys. Like I had the privilege of playing against Garrett Belcher.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people tell me at your age, a lot of people tell me that the fact of the basketball has changed in so many ways. Of it's a lot quicker sport, and it's a lot different compared to what it was 3 or 4 years ago. A lot of different rules set in mind, just quicker and more, and there's a lot more up tempo going on. What advice would you give to younger kids about playing sports?
I would just say like work hard, dedicate to it. It'll teach you how to be a good human being, a good employee, a good family member. Teamwork and hard work are important everywhere.
What has sports done to change your life, Tyler?
Oh, well, the biggest thing brought me together with a group of guys. I was pretty shy as a kid, and now I have a great bond with a group of guys that I've grown up playing basketball with, and that's awesome. That was probably the most valuable thing I earned from that.
What is a talent that you possess that not a lot of people know?
I can solve a Rubik's Cube really fast.
When did you start solving that?
Well, I went on a mission trip whenever I was going to be a sophomore in high school, and it was a long plane ride, and so I wanted something to do, so I learned how to do the Rubik's Cube on the way there and on the way back, and kept the thing going.
Wow. So is there anything else you'd like to mention that you didn't get a chance to talk about, Tyler?
I don't think so.
Well, I enjoyed hearing your story, especially the MIT part. We are going to now go to the high school, and we're going to do a couple things. I'm going to show you the trophy case, everybody, that he broke when he dunked the ball so hard. You won't be able to see the shattered part, but you'll be able to see where it was at, where he broke it. But yeah, guys, this is Tyler Higgs. What year did you graduate?
2018.
2018 high school, Dieterich Grad. Tyler, thank you for sharing your story to me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Tyler. Yes. I still got it. There we go. There we go. You got it.